Good morning, bright and early. It's currently 6 a.m. PST, and we are ready for the TeamLiquid Day 9 TV Heart of the Swarm Community Launch Party. Yes, I am Day 9, joined by the wonderful, kick-ass, and awesome Husky. Good morning, Husky. How are you?
What is going on, man? It is super early. It's going to be a long launch day, which I couldn't be more excited about. I also couldn't help but notice you have a nice friend over here.
Yes, I was really pleased when I received the award of the sweet action figure seat. Husky will hopefully get to level up later on today, perhaps get a Queen of Blades action figure to start things off. But for now, I'm deeply pleased with my medallion.
Sean, I just have a Dark Templar one over here, so I don't feel that bad either. But what's going on, Sean?
Well, today, Mike, is the countdown to the launch of Heart of the Swarm, the sequel to Wings of Liberty for StarCraft 2. And this event is a celebration of how awesome the StarCraft community is.
That is true. I don't know about you, Sean. Actually, I do know about you, but I've been part of the StarCraft and the Blizzard community as a whole for many, many years. I think I've logged several years of game time on both StarCraft and every other game they make. But as you know, the StarCraft community is amazing, and they're very grassroots. They've been around for a very long time. Even when I was a little kid, I was 11 years old, I started a StarCraft club. I don't know if many people knew that. We were all terrible because we were in like whatever grade you're in at 11 or 12 years old, and been playing a lot of StarCraft. And before that, I was even playing Warcraft 2. I learned that making lots of the Goblin Sappers, and that's it, is not a good strategy. So it's kind of like mass baneling. You only get one hit, and that's it.
It's actually kind of crazy to think, like, all the way back then, how many people now who are in their 20s and 30s played Warcraft 2. Like, back then, I remember calling my friend Danny with the 9600 baud modem, so that way we could connect, and anytime my grandma tried to make a call, we'd lose connection to the game. And of course, we weren't even playing against each other, we were always playing against the computer. And you couldn't share vision in Warcraft 2 back then. You could be allied, but you had to like scout out and find your ally. Yeah.
Oh god, I remember that. All right, this is bringing it back.
Yeah.
Bringing it back.
And it's exactly these memories that today is about. The StarCraft 2 community is completely grassroots. In fact, most of the Blizzard communities just sprang up because people loved playing the game. Back in the early days, TeamLiquid just did consistent news coverage of the Korean leagues, and this, of course, continued to expand, and you got commentators and personalities and players and teams and more websites coming up. And today we have video content from people like Star Nation, Chanman V, JP McDaniel, tournaments like NASL, content from art videos from Zoe. Who else? Teams like Root and EG. As many people as could possibly be crammed in the next 15 hours have been crammed in.
Sean, I thought you were going to actually list off everyone in the community, and that was actually just going to be the entire live stream. Of course, there's StarCrafts as well that I like to mention. I know a lot of people who go to that. And one of my buddies has a son who is starting to get into StarCraft 2 right when I got into StarCraft 1. He's already kicking my butt. He spams infestors and just burrows them and kills me every time. But definitely, thank you everyone for tuning in. Everyone on the West Coast, thank you for waking up this early.
Yes.
You guys are champions.
We actually woke up, Husky woke up at 3:30, I woke up at 4 because my drive was a little shorter. And we will actually be continuing all the way up through the next 5 hours here for the community event part 1, going into the European event after that, and then the community event part 2, and then wrapping up, we'll be driving down to the Irvine Spectrum Center, which is about 10 minutes that way, where we will finally wind up at the North American official StarCraft 2 launch event.
It's going to be amazing, Sean.
Indeed you do.
I am super excited. So what are we doing first?
Well, actually, Mike, I wanted to begin by throwing you a curveball.
Oh, yes.
All right. So
I used to play baseball. Those curveballs are evil.
That's actually true. I've never actually played baseball at a level where I knew what a curveball was, but having grown up in America, I feel like I'm allowed to use that term. So, Mike, I actually want to ask, how did you get into casting? What were your first steps into commentary?
I like this. This is a curveball. We didn't talk about this at all. I'm super excited. So my very first experience with casting was watching someone named Tasteless. I don't know if you're familiar with him, having grown up with him and being related to him as he is your brother. And it was when I was in college, as far as casting goes. Of course, I played StarCraft 1 right when it came out.
Yeah.
And I didn't really follow the pro scene until the game had been out for about 9 years. When was Jaedong becoming really good? That's when I first got in.
I feel like you really spiked up in like the 2004, 5, actually probably 2005.
We'll go with that.
I'm gonna
Somewhere right
just.
around there.
This is one of these moments where immediately I feel self-conscious of my status as a Brood War lore nerd, but I'm gonna stick with a confident 2005 is when Jaedong became a thing.
All right, we'll go with that. And I remember watching Tasteless cast a lot of games. I got behind Jaedong. He was my favorite, even though Zerg are scum. I see you're representing them today, though, which is fine. That's fine. Got the Protoss love going on. But I was watching him, and I realized that back then there was not a whole lot of English commentary at all. You had to stay up until 3 or 4 a.m., which is still what I'm doing today, by the way. But
Getting up at 3 or 4 a.m. now.
yeah, and so I used to have to stay up watching that, and at the time I thought, there's not a whole lot of content out there, and there wasn't. There was some YouTubers like Klazart and Moletrap and all them doing it, but I decided, hey, I like to yell a lot, and the one feedback I used to get in high school is that all my speeches were great. I had good eye contact, good inflections. I could keep people engaged, but I talked way too fast, so they would always mark me down for that. So I'm like, this is obviously what I should be doing, and did a lot of that, and you know what they say, Sean. The rest is what happened, and we're here now.
You know what I want to... That's what they say, indeed.
That's how the saying goes.
I wanted to ask, actually, how long before StarCraft 2 were you doing Brood War commentaries?
Oh, God, this is where I'm going to become self-conscious. I want to say I did it for a year, and I got like a grand total of like 1,000 followers. I actually was looking at the stats, and I used to get like 3 followers a day, and I was like, boom! It was amazing. And when I very first started, I actually... Because my roommates would used to stay up and watch it with me at 3 a.m. We love Tasteless and... all that goodness. That's when he was casting solo as well, which was quite hilarious.
Yeah.
And we used to stay up, but then like after like 3 weeks of that, they're like, all right, well, we're going to go to class. So we're going to bed at not, 7 a.m. is when that would get over. And yeah, so I was doing it for about a year, just solo casting away in my awesome apartment. And I'm still doing that exact thing today.
With a soundproof room.
That's true. That's true. But no, it's been crazy. And of course, there's been lots of other personalities. You yourself, I think you started like right around when I did, is when you were starting
I
your
started
Day 9 daily.
in October 2009.
Okay.
Was right when that thing got started
that sounds
up.
about right.
Yeah, we just did it because we loved Brood War. Because Brood War was it, and of course I too have an ever-long nerd crush on Jaedong.
That is, who doesn't? He actually doesn't age. He's going to be...
He could switch to chess, and I would still show up at the event, like, Jaedong! Like, freaking out.
Yeah, Jaedong Whiting, man.
Now, I will note that it's these sort of stories that I love talking about, so that's the whole point of today. In between the breaks, we'll be talking a little bit about some of the funny things that have happened at events, things that have gone wrong, things that have been awesome, good memories. And of course, we have all the video content coming up. We're going to be throwing into our very first piece. Some of you know of the Star Nation documentary that is on its final home stretch to being out the gate and into your hands. So we have an extended trailer from the wonderful folks over at Star Nation. Big thanks to Justin for helping pull this all together. So let's go ahead and hop right into that.